Hello, everybody. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. I have missed y'all. I'm waiting on Stellar. I sent him the link and think he was going to grab himself something to drink real quick. And then he would be here. We just kind of came up with this about 15 minutes ago. Well, actually, it was like 8:45. So it's been a little longer than that now. But waiting on Stellar. I have sent him the link, and so he should be here any second. But in the meantime, hello, Earth. Good to see you. And hello, Lisa54. And hello to my bush watchers. Looks like we've got a good many up in the bushes. So hello, y'all. Thank you for the view. But hopefully Stellar will hurry up and come on in, because we've got some things that we want to set straight tonight, some things that have been said over the past few days. So I'm just waiting on him. But while I am waiting on him, there's one thing that I do want to address. Hey, love Louie, good to see you. One thing I want to address. Hey, Texas girl, my love. One of the things I do want to address is my my community post that I made. Well, it wasn't a community post. It was a 5-minute short video with an email that was evidently sent to Bombshell. And in that community post, I said that it was wrong and it was pure evil, and, karma would come around. And I meant that not just for Bombshell. I wasn't taking up for Bomb, because everybody knows I do not like Bomb. We are not friends, never will be friends again. But in general, what I was saying is that email, the wording of that email was pure evil. And I don't care whether it was for Bomb or whether it was for anybody, over on the mob boss's side or whatever, whoever received an email like that, it was pure evil. I don't care what side you're on. They said, I guess some people have said, why didn't I say anything about the emails that were sent to some of them? I didn't see those emails. I kept hearing that there was emails, but I didn't see them. If I had saw them, then of course I would have spoken out, because if they were anything like the one Bomb got, those would have been pure evil too. And those were wrong. So, to try to come out and twist it and say that I'm defended Bomb now and that I'm, somehow or another in her chat under a fake name or whatever. I'm not in her chat, never will be in her chat. I'm not her friend, never will be her friend. But that email was pure evil. And for somebody to have it in their mind that they could write those kind of words, whoever did that needs help. You need to be in a mental institution somewhere. I don't care, if it was written to Bomb or if it was written to the ship members or whatever. Whoever it was needs to be in a mental facility. So I just wanted to set that straight. Hello, Stellar.
Hello. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, you're fine. I was just clarifying my my little short video.
I was ready 10 minutes ago, and I thought, I'm going to wait and come in fashionable.
You're going to be fashionably late.
And so here I am.
Yeah, you gave me time to get my rant over with.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear it. I'm just looking for your page so I can see side chat. I'm looking.
That was what it was. You didn't want to hear me going off.
No. Why would I? So you should be here under live. Let me refresh here. Okay. And my computer is a little slow today. Not sure why. I got a lot of stuff open. That might be.
Maybe it's owner operator.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Oh, here we are. Okay.
Did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's opening. I gotta mute. I better mute it. Let's see. Yes. Okay. I just muted. I'm good. I'm ready to go. Good to see you, Susan.
You too.
Thank you.
So, we were going to go over some stuff tonight from history. To kind of set the story straight from our point of view. As far as, the CP issue with Holly and when she was sent that turned out to not be CP and how she was exonerated. So, Stellar, do you want to talk about it first, or do you want me to show your video first?
Well, maybe just a couple of words. Yeah. Oh, hi to people out here. Lisa, 54, Texas girl, love Louis designs, etc., etc. I'm sure I'm missing people. Good to be here. Yeah, I just the video was made November 21st of 2021, so it's not quite 2.5 years ago. All right, not exactly new, but roughly 2.5 years ago. Things were going on, and there was, unfortunately, in the community, somebody decided to send what they thought might have been pornography to Holly Ann Did. As you will soon see, it turned out it wasn't pornography at all. They may have tried to make it such because they honed in on the picture and tried to manipulate it and so on. But we found the source of it, and we'll be able to talk at length on the specifics of what we did discover, because we found where these pictures were posted publicly and that they're for sale, who's selling them, all above board. We found out we all went to school and learned what the definition of what pornography actually is, and specifically with child porn. And we went to the Department of Justice website, and that was you'll see that here in the video as well. So anyway, maybe I won't ramble on. Just we wanted to clear up a lot of confusion. And sometimes people don't know what it is. And I think that we'd all probably, I would say I wouldn't have known for sure. But it's going to come clear. It's a 10-minute video and 1 second, 10 minutes and 1 second. And we're going to go into it in depth. We'll show the pictures in question, not all of them, but most of them. And we'll refer to the photographer who actually took the pictures and a collage, where they were taken, what the context was, and all above board. So I guess we're ready, Susan. Anytime you want.
Hey, Angelo. And Angelo is in the chat. And for the record, that somebody was not Angelo that sent those photos.
No.
We're under the belief that it was someone named Noodles, but it was definitely not Angelo. Has been, kind of hinted at the last couple of days, I guess.
But Angelo did not. He does send me his vacation pictures. I keep telling him, look, I've been to Florida. Please, no more pictures from Florida. No, he didn't. He didn't send anything. I'm kidding.
Angelo did not. And for those that keep hearing the name Susan through all of this, that Susan is not me. It is Susan Ye.
Yeah, there's many Susans, and Susan Ye, Susan Georgia Peach. There's a lot of Susans. I can't think of all of them now, but yeah, we want to be specific about who actually was being talked about. That's all. Because the information originally, whoever sent it to Holly Ann Did, and then from there, Holly sent it on. Probably not a good decision, but sent it on to Susan Ye, not this Susan.
Right.
And that's kind of where the video picks up, because we wanted to find out, I worked for years, a couple of decades, in a program called Safe Environment, called the Protect Children program with the Archdiocese. And we would help people understand the law and help them understand predatory behavior. And we wanted to make sure anyone who works with children, whether they be scoutmasters or coaches or youth ministers or teachers or anybody volunteering, what to look out for and how to protect children. Ultimately, that's the goal. And so a lot of times we just aren't as informed as maybe we could be, And so this, what you're about to see is a video intended to simply just, it would be, what do they call it, a teachable moment, a time where we could really help educate people, and myself as well. I learned a great deal.
Correct.
So anytime you want is fine. It's a fairly short video.
Okay. I'm going to try to put this as the only thing up on screen so that maybe I could see it better. Hit play.
Our video title is Holly's Exoneration. I will show the origin of the actual photos that were sent to her on her phone in just a moment. But first, I'm going to give a clear definition of child porn, CP, from the U.S. Department of Justice. I have it up there, 2256, Title 18. The United States Code defines child pornography as any visual depiction of, and this is a key word here, sexually explicit conduct, that phrase, with someone under 18 years of age. Okay? And also, I want to maybe just put up the actual website for where this comes from. This is the United States Department of Justice website, and we'll scroll down right here in blue, or is that green? Section 2256, Title 18, U.S. Code defines child pornography as any visual depiction of sexually explicit conduct involving a minor, which is someone under the age of 18. Okay? What is sexually explicit conduct? This is where it gets a bit uncomfortable, perhaps, for people to hear these things, but let's go ahead and take a look at it anyway. Also, we are on the Department of Justice website in their archives. This is section 2251 and following, and it says in yellow, sexually explicit conduct. What it actually means is actual or simulated sexual intercourse, bestiality, masturbation, sadistic or masochistic abuse, lascivious exhibition of the genitals or pubic area. The term child pornography is defined to include the following: visual depictions where minors are depicted in a sexually explicit way. Now, as we all know, truly sick and devious people engage in that kind of thing. And there's a whole other class of people, though, keep in mind, that falsely accuse others of doing it, of distribution or supporting child porn. The images in Holly's phone were clearly not child porn. There's nothing in the pictures that are sexually explicit conduct or suggestive of it in what we just read. If people do not have a clear understanding of the law as it's defined, as I just read it, then many people would probably not really be certain of what they're looking at. That's why it's critical to educate yourself on the law, to know what it actually is, right? And also not to falsely accuse or falsely report, just simply out of your own ignorance. Okay? So the following information I'm about to show you is nothing like that, but it's a collage of the original picture that was sent to Holly in her phone. And what's in question is a child in a galvanized tub of water. That's one of the pictures that was sent to her, and which the child was standing up. I'm going to be showing you photos from that same photo shoot. It was an actual photo shoot. In the same location, the same child, which we discovered the location is the LA County Fairgrounds. The room that they were photographed in, the child was an exhibition hall or large exhibit area, typically where like livestock would be at a county fairground, educational displays that would benefit the public, things like that. That's where the pictures were taken. None of which you're about to see, obviously, is child porn, and all the photos that you're going to look at, which I'm going to show you, are for sale. Every one of them are watermarked, perfectly acceptable to be viewed publicly or purchased. I do not own these photos. I want to make that very clear. They belong to Getty, Alamy, Dreamtime, Age Photo Stock, Visions of America, and other companies where they actually can be found. And they can be viewed there. I'll leave links so you can click on that if you want to look further. Or even be purchased, okay? I'm simply providing a link and samples for you to preview. For those of you who actually saw the two pictures that were put up, that were sent to Holly, it would be clear to you There's no doubt. It's indisputable. These are the same child, same location, same context, same tub of water, the same white background in the picture. Absolutely the same situation. The first one I'm going to show you, the first picture, will be showing people viewing what is likely an exhibit hall, as I just mentioned, at the LA County Fairground, where everything took place. So let me go ahead and bring that up for you. This is going to be a picture, as you can see. It actually says, okay, a naked baby standing in a bucket of water, a bucket full of water, Los Angeles County Fairground, California. Okay, this is on the alamy.com website. Okay, this is not child porn. Okay, clearly, these are for sale. They're stock images. The watermarks are splashed all across them. All right, so you can see this indeed is that same child, different pose, different photograph. All right, and this one was found, we found it on alamy.com. Okay, and the location is the county fair. In fact, you can see in the background on the right side, it's a public event, and it's not a gathering of pedophiles. You can see a person back there, if you look closely, an adult holding a child to the right side of the child, okay, in the background. As the description states, so this is a public event. It's a fair, LA County Fair. All right. I kind of wondered if maybe this child took a fall and got all muddy, and the fair officials, maybe they were kind enough to let the parents clean up the child behind this white wall here. And the person who did the photo collage is none other than an award-winning photographer. His name will be here in a moment. Of course, you can see the watermark of Alamy within this photo. Okay. The next photo, as you can see here, same child, same wall, same everything. Same environment as the first one, same as what was sent to Holly. This time the child is sitting in the tub of water. And this is from agephotostock.com. Okay, galvanized tub, whole thing. It's a bit harder to see, but to the right of the child in the background, there appears to be bales of hay stacked up. After all, it's the county fair. You would expect that. And this picture enlarged, you can see, I think you can make out the watermark, the company Visions of America. And that's the one actually owned by the photographer himself, Joseph Shum. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. And this one is a Getty image. It's actually the same picture, but Getty has it for sale. You can see it's almost $500 with the child sitting in that galvanized tub of water. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I think you can make that out okay. So this photo has the watermarks of Getty, as I mentioned, and Joe Sohm, who's the photographer who took them. They're all embedded there. These are stock photos. They can be purchased. These aren't porn. It's the same child and same series of photo collage pictures one of which was sent to Holly. The one sent to Holly was manipulated. It was zoomed in on and distorted in that way. But these pictures were, well, let me just say they should never be used by the public unless you're going to purchase them. So go to these links, and if you're going to use them. They're not mine, and I don't claim ownership of any of these, nor do I benefit monetarily from them whatsoever. But I will leave the links up for you to follow. I'm just showing you a preview if you want to examine them further. Clearly, what you've seen is a collage of pictures taken by an award-winning photographer within the safe environment of the public presence at the LA County Fair. Okay? The photographs, the photos that Holly was sent, there's one of the same child, were never child porn at all. Clearly not sexually explicit conduct. And I truly hope that this helps clear up the confusion. First of all, what defines actual child porn? And we have to stop the dangerous illegal action and statement from some people who are running around declaring the photos are CP when they're clearly not, as the government defines it. Holly did not send, transmit, or was a purveyor in CP. She clearly was not, because the photos are not CP. Publicly available watermark stock images from a variety of companies. And we know even who the photographer was. This was at a public event at a fair. As I say, it wasn't a gathering of pedophiles. The photo came from a very well-known, award-winning photographer. Okay, very endearing photos, I might add. It's nothing that approaches sexually explicit conduct. Okay, some of you owe Holly and others actually a sincere apology. I don't know if you have it in you to do that, but I truly hope all of us can learn something from this. There are laws, very serious ones, against false allegation in this area, and they carry severe penalties, whether you know it or not. They include fines and in some cases jail time. Folks, please be careful. Yeah, Holly, can I jump in? Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, that was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are
There
we
we go.
back? Yeah, I wanted to comment about the.
Hold on. There we go.
Okay, we ready?
Yes, actually, hold on 1 second because Love Louie. Thank you, Love Louie. Welcome to the Peach Pit.
Oh, that's nice.
Stellar, Love Louie is asking, is it Getty or Gettys?
Getty, singular, is my understanding.
Okay.
We have links underneath the title of that video if they wanted to. Well, we can drop that later too if they want. Can I? Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead and say what you're going to say, and then I'll talk about what Angelo has commented in the chat. Or do you want to do Angelo first?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see. Sorry. Let me look at what Angelo what he had typed in. Keep in mind, my accusations are related to the content creator's own claims, which stopped after this video was done by Stella. Yeah, you know, boy, you're gonna find this funny. This was almost 2.5 years ago, and to be perfectly honest, which I like to be honest, I didn't remember a lot of the contextual background about who said, she said, he said. All I really remember was when I put this together, I didn't have anyone in mind. I certainly didn't have you in mind, Angel. But I did hear recently that, in fact, I got what do they call it when you're tagged? Bombshell apparently, I got tagged because Bombshell showed my video or put a link to it up on her community page. So I go, oh, okay. So I did see that. What I learned, though, was that there are people, I don't know if Bombshell is trying to suggest that the people in the ship were accusing Holly. I did not hear that. I'm not sure that ever came out. And I don't run with stuff I don't have any reason to substantiation for. So I want to make it very clear right now. I was concerned primarily with the welfare of Holly, who mistakenly thought they might be child porn, made a bad decision to send them to Susan Ye, in my opinion, a bad decision. Instead, what should have been done, if you don't know what something is, I think Susan Ye did that, contact the police immediately. They can help you discern what it is. And I think that would have been the better decision rather than sending them on. Well, as it turns out, whatever was sent on was not child porn in the first place. But we didn't know that. And so education was very important. And we, all of us, including myself, learned a great deal from this. I don't approve of people who were not involved. And Baum, I have to say, I don't recall you being involved in this in any way, nor really anybody from the ship or anywhere else that I can recall. I just recall Susan Ye, not Susan Georgia Peach, Susan Ye and Holly Undead. And then I was going to try to just, if I could, be helpful and see what these pictures and images were all about, if they would qualify under the law as actual child porn. And as you can see, what we've obviously learned is it doesn't approach that at all. So I think everyone was relieved to hear that. I want to just make it very clear here. I didn't make this video to go after Angelo or anybody. I did not. In fact, I didn't mention Angelo. I didn't mention anybody else in the video, except for I think I may have mentioned Holly, because she was the one who received the images from someone. So as far as that story goes, I hope that helps to put some light on it. I made the video. I got some help from Sugar and the Raw. Yeah, I didn't think of it as an attack on anyone. I was just hoping that we could clarify what actually it is, and the images were publicly available, clearly not sexually explicit or in any way any kind of illicit sort of conduct being promoted. And I'm glad we were able to do that. I think we all learned a lot, actually, or I did. So, I mean, many of us who have had children, we put our baby in the bathtub and there's nothing sexual going on. And, I think this little child probably had a fall at the fair and got muddy, and that happens a lot. And somebody was kind enough to say, hey, you can clean up back here, My son used to show pygmy goats at the county fairs out here. And, you're going to get muddy. And so I suspect that's probably what happened. And a photographer had one of those moments, rare moments, where these will be wonderful photos. And they're absolutely innocent photos. There are people who, and the person who sent them originally, I think clearly tried to make them something that they were not. And we have to be on guard for that. We have to be aware that people are capable of that. But my video, I just wanted to make it very clear, had nothing to do with Susan Georgia Peach, nothing to do with Angelo, nothing to do with anybody other than, the two ladies who happened to have them sent to each other. First would have been Holly, and then the next would have been Susan Ye, who received them from Holly. So neither one of them were purveyors of porn. They weren't child porn at all. And I'm just glad that we got an opportunity to set the record straight. It was a teachable moment. Angelo says, my reaction was based on the statements made by the person receiving it. And and I think that's a good point, because I think mistakenly Holly Undead did think it was child porn. She believed that it was. And then, of course, I never saw that original photo, which was redacted. My understanding was the person that sent them to Holly originally, they focused in, they honed in. What's the word for that? They used the picture to focus on a part of the child's anatomy. That's pretty sick, of course. But the pictures themselves and their origin and where they are and they're public available and a very well-known photographer and everything else, all completely above board and innocent. And I'm glad we were able to set the record straight on that. Yeah, I appreciate that, Angelo. Yeah, I didn't think of it as, when I made the video, going after anybody except ignorance. Holly thought they were child porn. She did not know what child porn was. And ignorance was the real target of my video. And all of us, myself included, I learned a lot. Ignorance can be a very dangerous thing. So we learned, and I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to do that. Let's see. Lalo says, is this why Holly? No, not at all. Holly's been around well after that. And I don't know if I should talk about her dog, but I don't know. I hope that everything's okay over there. So Angelo says, no, but it had nothing to do with this. Because she was vindicated. The title of, she didn't have child porn. She thought she did, but she did not. If you think you have something like that, the thing to do is Because we don't always know. Go to the authorities. They can help clarify what you're dealing with. I think Susan Ye did that, and they told her just delete them from her phone, if I'm not mistaken, which is always a good idea. Yeah, and Angela says they deliberately misled someone who was under the impression. That's right. That's what actually took place. And then this video was meant to try to put a fine point on things, simply saying here is in fact what child porn actually is, and what was sent to her did not qualify at all. Let's see. Angela says, if unsure, always report yes. Let's see. I can scroll down here.
And
yeah,
to clarify one thing as well, what's been said the last couple of days is that Bombshell herself single-handedly cleared Holly's name.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
That is not true. Bombshell herself turned on Holly and did a stream saying that Holly was sharing CP.
Right.
It was Stellar that cleared Holly's name.
Well, I had help. It wasn't all Stellar, but
it was your channel, but you had help from a couple of people, and Bomb was not one of those people.
Yeah, it kind of just escapes logic as to why she would say that. I don't understand that. If she has a problem with someone, stick with the facts and tell the truth. That never happened. Bombshell wasn't involved in any of this. I think at one time she may have said she thought it was child porn. That's my memory. It could be wrong.
She did. She turned on Holly. CJ, which is Real Stream News, turned on Holly and was threatening to take her channel away from her. Because he said that she was spreading CP. Right.
Yeah, that's what Angela's saying. Karen definitely said that she had CP, and there was, and as it turned out, of course, she was wrong about that as well. You know what? Education is very important, and now we know why. Ignorance can cause a lot of problems. We don't always know what we're dealing with, and so what do we learn? I learned before we knee-jerk set off to, make a judgment. It's best to take a breath, breathe deep, do a little meditation, and do a little background checking, and make sure we all of us should do that. Really, make sure we know what we're dealing with.
Right, Angelo, the ship, the mob crew over there, none of them had anything to do with the pictures being sent to Holly.
Absolutely. There was nothing to do.
They only reacted after Holly came out and said she had received CP and forwarded those pictures to Susan Ye, who got quite upset about it because it scared her that she had received CP from Holly.
Right.
But the ship had nothing to do with it. Jenny and the mob crew over there had nothing to do with it. Angelo had nothing to do with it. It was from Noodles. They all just reacted based on what Holly said.
Yeah,
which was, I would have done the same thing.
Right. It's not really complicated. There were very few people involved. Yes, maybe other people and groups saw the images, but that has nothing to do with the origin of the pictures and the two women who actually received them on their cell phone. And that really is where the way I look at it. We just want to say, okay, whatever is on the phone, let's let the Department of Justice and the law as we understand it try to speak for itself. And that's what we did. And I think that was important. Let's see. Angela says the narrative today on video is I sent it and I set Holly up with, I'm following, which is slander and false. Never would I participate in that kind of monstrous behavior. Yeah, and so I'm glad that we could come on today. We have another thing we want to talk about as well, but this was probably a good place to start. The narratives are, a deadly activity, and they happen far too often. All people have to do is take a breath. If they've heard something, before you spread it, or think you know what you're talking about and make up a narrative, don't do that. contact the person directly. Bombshell never contacted me. Very few people contacted me, and still never to this day I don't get a lot of that. And then that's okay, as long as we don't embark on a narrative which can really destroy someone's reputation. And I think we hopefully wouldn't want that. So yeah, narratives are all too common, and they are very toxic. I always talk of it as they poison the well. The well is the community. We all drink from the same well, and when someone poisons it, it makes it look like someone is something they're not. And so I was very happy we were able to set the record straight.
Angela, that's one of the reasons we're doing the stream tonight, is the narrative that has been set. You know, is me and Stellar were back then, you know, in Holly's chat. We were friends with Holly. You know, and now I'm not on Holly's side. I'm not on Bomb's side. I'm not on, you know, Jenny's side. I'm on the side of saying what happened back then. And what happened was Noodles sent her pictures. She described them as CP. She sent them to Susan Ye, and it caused an uproar because of the way Holly described them.
Right.
But in no way were you responsible for sending those photos, which is, you know, the narrative that was spread today.
To be perfectly honest,
it was, you know, it was Noodles that did it.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Susan's saying, there's a whole lot of people being thrown under the bus here, which isn't right. I don't like that. I don't think any of us should like. We want to know what the truth was, and the truth is, and someone said Go Getter wants to say, what's Holly's take on this? I would recommend looking at Holly's channel. Go Getter, I would say without any hesitation, Holly was very happy that this video that we just showed came out, because I think that it was able to address the pressure that she was under way back at that time. I will say, pick sides, just record, make my own choices of who I watch. Yeah, we weren't always friends. I can't see what's under the heart there, Susan. I don't know what
we
it
weren't
says.
Always friends. I get it. And that's true, Angelo. We weren't always friends, and you've never asked anyone to pick a side, including me. You know, just after the narrative that has been spread today, you know, I'm just saying I'm in the middle. You know, I'm saying what happened back then from my point of view. You know, and from what I saw, what I witnessed was that you were not responsible for any of this. There was only the two people involved. And then, you know, somebody tried to spread a narrative today that they cleared they were the one that cleared Holly and all this. And that's simply not true.
Yeah. I think Go Getter was, can I make a comment on what Go Getter is saying? I like the idea of people who do what Go Getter is doing. One of the problems that happens around here all too often, Angelo referred to it earlier, Go Getter is saying, I like to do my own research. That is exactly what we all should do. Before we rush to judgment, we should hear from as many sides as we possibly can. Do our own research. That is very important. That's healthy.
Yeah, that would be what I would advise. The videos are probably still on her channel. I don't know. I haven't looked at her channel, so
right.
I don't know. Well, Angelo, I definitely reacted to it. That's fact. It was Stellar and his assistants that showed me the truth, and I stopped after that. Well, Angelo, it was something that a lot of people reacted to based on how it was put out there originally. You know, a lot of people, us being parents, did, you know, react to it. And it was only after, you know, Stellar and his people did some research and found the actual photos. But before that, we didn't know. We all assumed it was CP to begin with.
Right. And I'll just say one more thing, put a fine touch on this. I didn't mention anybody's name in the video other than Holly. I didn't make accusations or point the finger. There's no specificity involved. And if I didn't do that, which I didn't, why is someone else? Why is anyone else trying to do that? So because this is one of the events where I did have some, ability to set the record straight. I hope that today is that day where we have clarified some things. Angela says, if I felt like an apology would fix, I would do so, but for some apologies, there aren't enough. Some just want to use pain to increase. That's under the heart, the strangle.
Increase the strangle or struggle?
Struggle, probably, yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to apologize for having the correct response and reaction to currently available information. Yeah. And I just, again, I'll use this opportunity to say one quick important caveat about narratives and sincere people who pursue the truth. It is harder to do that. It's harder to take the time to listen. It takes an effort to stop and say, you know what, maybe I don't like certain people, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and find out what really happened. Because eventually it all comes out anyway. And I hope that would be something we could all endorse, employ that sort of attitude. I'm trying not to be judgmental myself. But what I did here, and I hope today is a clarification because I was part of this, if Mom, you're saying that Angelo and others were involved in going after someone in this particular issue, nothing could be further from the truth. I hope that puts a touch on it. I went through this. I was involved in it, so I'm happy to be able to set the story straight as you put on your title, Susan.
Right. And Angelo, you're not sidetracking us because you were clearly thrown under or tried to be thrown under a bus today. And, right. Somebody was trying to make a point that this was your fault, that you did it. And that's one of the reasons we came live tonight, was to set the story straight. Because a lot of the new people here don't know what happened then. So they hear, stories from all these different sides, and they don't know what's the truth, what's not. And, Stellar actually had the video on his channel that would set it straight.
Well, and I just learned of this. I didn't realize what had been said. I got tagged on that. I go, oh, what's going on? So, yeah, we wanted to be able to weigh in. And for those of us who are involved, it's good to be able to clarify whatever we can. Yeah, go get her. I hope you can find, it'd be nice if you could actually talk with her. I think that she would be reiterating and in complete agreement with what's been said today. Angela says, I expected many of these attacks once I filed my case. I was already prepared for that, but I do appreciate telling the facts and correcting the slander. Yeah, it's disappointing to me. If Mom had come to me and said, hey, Stellar, I know we're not friends, but would you mind, making sure I get this information correct? I would have been happy to do that. I don't care if people don't like me or not. I'm still happy to talk with them. I don't always have the lowdown on everything, but I do at least to some degree on this issue. And that's where we fall short. I would really like to see people take the time to investigate and not just rush to judgment. Yeah.
Sorry. I'm okay. Fine. That was the dogs crashing, not me.
Laylo says, why would he need to apologize? He thought Holly was a pedo or Noodles. Who is he? Who needs to apologize?
I think Laylo's talking about Angelo because Angelo was talking about an apology up there.
Oh yeah, but not him apologizing. It would be the other way, right? I mean, because Angelo is being accused of in the new narrative, which I just learned about yesterday or today, that he was involved in this and he wasn't.
Right. I think, Angelo, are you saying you would apologize to Holly for your initial reaction, but you don't think it would do any good? Is that what I'm
Okay.
interpreting?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, he says, I never thought Holly was a pedo, nor would I ever say that about her. So yeah, that pretty well answers that question.
Okay, I am correct. Okay.
Oh, okay. I mean, things go on behind the scenes and people weigh in and say this and that. And, you know, we're not all privy to that, and nor would I want to be. I think what goes on publicly, I think at least that we can try to sort out, do it for the good of the community.
Yeah, Laylo, there's a lot of people that wasn't around back then, and that's part of the reason we're doing this stream tonight, because there is a lot of new people in the community, and accusations have been, hurled, and
Right.
we were around back then. We were, part of it in Holly Stream. We were at that time friends with Holly and supporting Holly, and we're just trying to set the record straight from our point of view. I guess everybody has points of view. There's his truth, her truth, and somewhere in the middle is the actual truth. So yeah, please go over to Holly's channel and look at her channel, listen to what she's got to say, and then do your own research and come up to your own conclusion.
One of the nice things about social media is we do have recordings, and they give us the ability to say, well, let's go ahead and look at the video. It's like the cameras on the street corner. It's hard to argue with the camera on the street corner, and we have historically made videos about the events that take place. So this is one of those opportunities where they can help us.
Angelo, I don't think Laylo is saying that you called Holly a pedo. I think what Laylo was saying was you said that you would apologize, but it wouldn't do any good, is the way I interpreted Laylo's statement. I could be wrong, so if I am, please say. But I think that's what Laylo was saying, was you said an apology wouldn't do any good.
You see how easy it is to, and I was interpreting he was having the whole apology thing had to do with Bombshell. Isn't it funny how we always need to clarify? We need to take the time to make sure of what we're hearing and what we're seeing.
I ask why you would need to apologize. You seem to have a big part in this story, but I don't know how. And Go Getter also says, I've seen slander going both ways, but hey, who am I?
Yeah.
Go Getter, that's part of this drama community. There's slander that goes both ways. There's, it's gone beyond throwing tomatoes at this point.
Right, and that's where we wanted to go next.
Tomatoes, but now it's way, way beyond that.
Yeah, and Susan, that's kind of the intro. Well, whenever we feel we need to, about the next little piece we wanted to address tonight. Right?
Correct.
But I don't know if we're completely finished on this issue. And if anybody has any other questions, Angelo says I have big part in anyone doing harm to children, and under the evidence I had, that's what I saw, which was corrected by Seller. Yes, okay. I misunderstood. See, I misunderstood what Angelo was saying. I want to apologize. Some people don't want those. Yeah, you can offer them, and will someone accept them? It takes two, but it's good to get it out, and then you've done everything you can do. they always say, if you're trying to trust the other party and you're cliff jumpers, you better really have a lot of trust in the person that packed your parachute when you go off that cliff, and make sure things are going well between you. But in social media and online platforms like this, we really have our work cut out for us, and oftentimes we'll never meet in public. Very few do, but we still, I think, owe it to just try to pursue what's true and what's honest and what's just and fair, and we'll get this sorted out. No jump from planes. Yeah, I avoid that myself. I think it's one of the fear of heights, fear of public speaking, fear of the dentist office. What else? There are a few.
Yeah, I don't jump from planes. I don't, what is it, parasail? I don't do any of that.
Right.
No, thanks. I've actually seen a lot being in the bushes. It's been quite interesting. Oh, go get her. How long have you been in the bushes? Like, how long have you been around here watching from the bushes?
Yeah, it is interesting. I usually am behind a potted plant. That's my safe place.
Because it's there's a lot that's been in the bushes that you could watch depending on how long you've been here. There's been a lot of drama over the years.
Right. So just to summarize what we tried to make clear from those of us who were there at the time, and these events took place, and the video hopefully was helpful as well. All of this was an engagement to determine whether or not child porn was actually on the telephone. The image was sent to Holly Undead and to Susan Ye, the same image, if they actually were child porn. And then we were able to determine they were not. And, other people being involved, no. Not to my knowledge. I didn't, and I made the video. If I felt there were a need to address another narrative where other people were involved, I would have done that. I don't have any hesitation doing that. There was no reason for me to do that. So as far as Angelo and other people being involved in that, no.
Correct. I mean, as far as I know, other than, the sender of the pictures, which my understanding was Noodles, and then, Holly and Susan Ye, those were the three main people.
Exactly.
That was involved in it. And then, there was the people that spoke out about it based on what Holly originally called the pictures. And then when you cleared the air, then those accusations stopped.
I put my big nose into it. Someone returned it the other day. Say, Joe, did you lose this? I go, yeah, your nose was in our business. Thanks, Joe. So but I usually try not to, because I catch hell for it. But I don't know. I love the fact that it was educational. That all of us, I did too. I learned a great deal, and there's something positive that can come of things like this as well. But I really hope sincerely that we were able to kind of clarify, things in the background.
Correct.
And any allegations going around that just have no merit, really. I mean, to me, this is not a complicated event. It had to do with just very few people, primarily two women, and their cell phones. That was about it.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions about that? Has this hopefully cleared the air on what actually happened from our point of view?
Well, silence is golden.
That's what I think. All right, Stellar, what else were we going to talk about? My memory sucks sometimes.
Well, I wanted to just maybe weigh in on piece of information that was shown actually by Bombshell that was very disturbing to me, and I have some thoughts to share about that. They're not accusatory in any way because there is no one to accuse, and nor would I really want to do that. I think it's a question of, I try not to go after people. It could be look at that way, but I look at behavior. Everyone here is a child of God, and you know what? Let's respect everyone. Behavior is another matter. We can challenge behavior till the sun sets, and many times we should do that. Well, the behavior of the person who put together the email, I guess it was from Proton, sent to Bombshell, I wanted to just state a couple of things. I don't know, Susan, if you wanted to as well.
That's what I did when, you were fashionably late.
Yeah. Okay.
I gave my opinion on it, but,
Okay.
feel free to give your point of view.
Okay. You want me to go ahead? Do people know what we're talking about? I don't know. I just kind of learned about it.
I'm not sure. Do y'all in chat know about the email that from a Proton address that Bombshell received that was very vile and evil and do y'all know what that is about? Have y'all heard about that?
Yes, one of them says yes. And I'll go through a little bit of it, so maybe that will be sufficient. Hopefully. Shall I go ahead and start?
Yeah, Angelo, I don't know if you'll get blamed for it or not, but I know just what I know of you, you don't have the mind frame to write an email like this.
No, I wouldn't have thought you at all. At all. I hope no one would think it was me. I just, greatly disappointed. The thing that I was worried about is, have we crossed that line? The line is getting more blurry all the time. If what I've heard, I've never been to prison, but I've heard about it. There are things, there's a line in prison. You don't go after children and elderly or whatever. There's a line, a moral line that people, and I don't know where that line is now with what I was hearing about. It's just very disturbing. So shall I go ahead and just launch in and
go ahead and launch in if you want to. For those that haven't seen it, you can read it if you'd like first.
I even hate it's cringy to even put it up on screen. I'll address some of the words that were in it. The email that Bomb received and that she showed, so it's fine to talk about it, it's publicly addressed or made public. It was sent anonymously, from my understanding. I mean, it was signed Bomb Hater, but it was anonymously sent. And I don't want to know the origin, but what it says to me is that they don't want to reveal who they are due to the egregious nature of the email and vile content. Otherwise, I think they would have signed it. And in it, there was part of it addressed her deceased father, which to me is beyond insensitive. It's reprehensible. He had nothing to do with any of this, bringing him into it. And in the way it was done was pretty awful. And we've all got loved ones, right? Why bring a deceased family member, a loved one, into a conflict that doesn't involve them at all? This is someone who has died. Also in the email, they spoke of a working plan of Karen's destruction. Well, from my understanding, that's where evil plots begin in someone's mind. They enter the mind, they descend to the heart, they displace love with hate. And the author of that email spoke of, said, I want you left with nobody and nothing. That's very judgmental. Who gets off telling someone how their life should be? This email contained no love, no kindness, no humanity, nothing I could identify as even human. The plan was destroy another human being. A couple of times they talked about self-destruction. Clearly, it had nothing to do with God or love or our higher human nature, right? For that matter. They spoke of plans to contact her landlord with stories to get her evicted. And upon failure, if that didn't work, they would hatch another backup plan to plant baggies around the house and then contact the police and put similar treats out for the dogs, suggesting poisoning. Response was in the email, "You don't deserve them anyway." Well, that's a pretty big button for me personally, as an animal lover. I can barely describe how those statements tear at everything that's inside me that's holy and sacred. And, there's no other word for it but evil. Plotting to attack someone in that way is indefensible. So following all of that, I got to get a drink of soda here. The email tried to tear down with really depreciating statements all the way through it, trying to place doubt in her even being a lovable human being. Then we hear the second mention of suicide, referred to as self-delete. If I was being sued and known as a CP lover, all those are accusations unproven, followed by rancid comments about her father and his death. And it ends with a real life comment: "See you soon. I just rode by every single day, twice a day. A special surprise is coming." Another threat there. Your biggest hater. Well, an old saying: if you love if you hate evil more than you love what is good, then you're simply a damn good hater. And the world has far too many of those people in it. I think it's pretty obvious a healthy, happy person couldn't even write something like that. A person who has joy and happiness and love in their life, who's content with who they are, it would be impossible for them to begin to address things in that way, right? I mean, the old expression that darkness and light can't exist in the same room. It can't. If you got a dark room, turn on the lights and the darkness is gone. And if a person has a dark heart, it's because there's no light there. The whole email to me spoke more about the person that wrote it than about the person that intended to read it. I'll say this, Susan. I found it ironic that you and I actually are the people who help Bomb out with loans, which were not repaid, but and then here we are speaking out against the hate-filled email sent to this same person, and yet we're not filled with that kind of rage at her at all. Am I happy at the behavior at times? No, no. But I'm not filled with hate. Is the person. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, that, I've been accused because I spoke out against the email of defending Bomb, and, I'm probably back over in her chat under a false name, blah, 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 blah. And no, I'm not over in her chat. No, I'm not friends with her. No, I'm not supporting her. This email was just the reason I spoke out. It's pure evil. And the things that were written in the email, I know Bomb has trolled herself. She's done some awful things in the past, and a lot of those have been done towards me. But I don't see, as much as she loved her daddy, her being able to type the things about her daddy that she typed in that email, for one. I couldn't get over when you read me that email earlier. I had not seen it until you told me about it and read it to me, and my mouth was hanging open the entire time. I was speechless. I didn't know what to say, how to react. It literally made me sick. And that's why I spoke out against it. I just, mm, I, I don't even know what to say
Susan,
about it other than it's evil. And whoever who did write it, whether it was Baum or somebody else, whatever, they need to be in a mental hospital somewhere. Is all I'll say.
yeah, Susan, just to piggyback on that, uh, we're in a community which is not unlike a big family. And families fight, families have disagreements. Sometimes family members leave and say horrible things they regret later. And we have to sort through it. But this particular email crossed the line for me of human decency. And I couldn't find one syllable of human respectability in it. Not one. And I think that it's important for the community to say, regardless of what we think about this person or that person, in no way is this acceptable, nor will any of us accept it. We have to have some demarcation, moral demarcation line somewhere where we say, no, we can't accept this. This is not right. Or who are we, or what have we become? So I think that it just was so, I've been concerned about the direction this community has been going. And I think that it's become a meaner, nastier place. And slowly but surely, all the supposed, you know, I don't know if they were ever clarified as such, but the types of things that we wouldn't do are now things that people are doing. Not
Mike,
just real life,
Mike,
but
there's a copy of it. There's a short on my channel with it. Sorry, Stellar.
no, that's fine. On your community page or where?
It's a short on my channel.
Where on your channel?
Under short videos.
Oh, good. Okay, I didn't know. Thank you. Yeah, you know, I'm not surprised it came to this. I'm shocked still that it did. I think everybody on all sides of the issues have to come to the point of saying, this is beyond the pale. We cannot accept it. It's wrong. That doesn't mean anyone's switching sides, except, you know, there is a third side. You can be on one or the other, but there is another side, and that's the side of human decency. And sometimes both sides aren't. They're not decent. But this email was beyond that. And I think it deserves, if I'm not mistaken, Angelo, you had made a comment, I thought I screen grabbed it, that you had condemned it as well. I looked for it, I couldn't find the doggone thing, but hopefully I'm not out of the context of what you were actually saying the other day. It must have been yesterday, I'm not sure. So anyway, I think that wherever we stand on, you know, different sides of things and who we like and who we don't like, we should be in agreement about human decency, and we all should be in favor of that. Yeah, Angelo says, yeah, it's not acceptable and defeats the entire purpose of holding her accountable. Yeah, I think that we then need to hold ourselves accountable for supporting something as, I will say, evil as well as what that email was. I think it deserves complete condemnation from all sides, which has nothing to do with changing sides or approving of anyone else's behavior. It's simply saying this was way, way out of bounds.
Truth says she wrote that letter to herself. And when I said earlier, Truth, is I don't care whether she wrote the letter to herself, whether somebody else wrote it to her, or whether it was written to somebody else in the community on the opposite side of Baum. What I'm saying is that letter, no matter who wrote it, is evil, and ever who wrote it needs to be in a mental hospital.
Yeah, I don't know if we can prove that. I don't think it makes a lot of sense that she would speak in such a vile way about her own father, about her own life. I don't see it. but if you have some inside information, I think there's accusations are thrown around. We were trying to address the fact before we make an accusation, why don't we take a breath, look at what we do know, and try to be very careful about what we don't know. And I think that this community would be vastly improved if we didn't launch out a judgment statement or any kind of accusation until we know for sure.
Exactly, Angelo. It's not what you think or believe, it's what you can prove. If we start doing that, we're no better than what she currently does to me or others. And you're exactly right, Angelo.
That's right.
And that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter who that email went to. It's the fact that it was evil. And when are we okay with that? There were people, that was seeing that email and laughing about it and thinking it was funny and thinking she deserved it and all. And I don't care if it had been sent to, somebody on the other side. I'm not going to say one's name because they freak out every time I mention their name. But, if it was sent to somebody else on the other side, it would be wrong. And we need to speak out about it. And we need to say how evil it is.
Yeah, wherever the origin is. And Prison Mike, if the proof comes out, I'll be the first to condemn whoever said it. But I haven't seen the proof yet. And in this country, we're not in a dictatorship or a banana republic. We're innocent until proven guilty. And that's the whole purpose of what we're talking about here today. Let's not, as Angelo said, launch into unfounded accusations until we know, regardless of past performance. This is an individual incident, and it's absolutely sickening. And I think we need to be very careful about accusing anybody until we know. And it's very possible that we may learn the source of it one day.
Go Getter says, I also have an issue with content swiping. What are your thoughts on that? Go Getter, are you talking about how somebody's live on YouTube and somebody's restreaming them over on Rumble? Is that what you're talking about, content swiping?
Who said that? I can't see their...
Go Getter.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm waiting on them to... Okay, yes. I don't agree with it. I said it before. I gave an opinion a few weeks ago. I did a couple of streams with another creator. And I don't want her to get lumped in with me because I'm giving my opinion tonight. But I did a stream with Texas Girl and I gave my opinion on what I thought. And I said I thought it was wrong. I don't care which side it is, whether it's the mob restreaming Bombshell or Bombshell restreaming the mob. Both sides, it is wrong.
Is that, I didn't hear the expression content swiping. I've never heard that before. Is that what they're referring to?
Yes.
Okay.
To me, it's just wrong. And I know, that the hate goes so far on both sides, that, if you say it's wrong on one side, then you're defending the other. If you defend one side, then, you're going against the other. And I'm not on anybody's side. It's wrong on both sides, and because I have that opinion, then, I got attacked. My channel has lost subs because of it, but my channel is not dead and I'm not going away. But that's just my thoughts. It used to be, you didn't restream and you gave the creators their time to get their views for their content.
Right.
You know, and a lot of times you even went to another creator and said, "Hey, do you mind if I use your stream or a clip from it?" You know, it was just common courtesy. But according now, you know, we don't have rules in the DC. Well, maybe not for the new people, but the old DC did have rules, contrary to what some people say.
You know, Wild and Out. Did you read that comment? At 7:22. Well, you'd be 10:22. I know.
Hold on. Rapper.
Wild and Out, just above Rapper.
Yeah, I need Rapper to go though. I believe my mod is in here, but just hold on, just in case. I want to make sure they're all right. Rapper, go away and don't come back.
You see where Wild and Out has a comment?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm scrolling up. All sides are in agreement that the email is absolutely disgusting. Chat needs to stop blaming the other leader, whether that be Jenny or Mom. And I completely agree with that. Wild and Out.
Yeah, if we only establish that, I think Wild and Out is making the point of this live stream. Why wouldn't it be wonderful if we could all just, I keep saying, take a breath and take a moment to try to figure out what really took place, not immediately knee-jerk blame the other side, and just say, you know, let's take a, what do they call it, moratorium on immediate reaction and judgment and accusations, and try to find out what really happened. And that's why we wanted to do this stream about it's almost 2.5 years ago, what really went on, because I don't like people going back and using my material and forming a narrative around it that never happened. And that's what I believe is starting to happen. So hopefully we set that to rest tonight. You know, that, and for those who don't know what I'm talking about, you'll have to go back and see the first half of the stream. But Wild Out, thank you for saying what you said.
Correct. There was something else I was going to respond to. Hold on. Angelo wrote it that Jenny receives the same type of emails, but she doesn't, I guess, make them public. And the question was, why am I not speaking out about the emails that Jenny gets? Well, Angela wrote, and for the record, Jenny receives the same email threats and disgusting crap. She does not advertise it or may it credence because that's what whoever is sending them wants. And that's exactly why I haven't said anything about emails, because I haven't seen any emails like this sent to Jenny. If I had saw these I'm sorry.
If we've never seen it, it's hard to comment.
Right. If I had saw an email like this one sent to Jenny, I would have made the same post and said, it's evil and somebody needs to be in a mental hospital.
Yeah, we have to speak up for what's right, regardless of how we feel about whoever we like or don't like.
Right. But I mean, you can't speak out on something you haven't seen.
No. I wish that I'm not sure that if I had received an email like that, I would have made it public. I think that there are some things that are so egregious that I don't know if there's an upside to it. It was a shocking wake-up call, but same time, I'm not sure that it's necessarily going to help this community. I think we've all kind of been aware that things have deteriorated. But as far as is it a good decision to reveal an email like that? That's up for debate. I myself, I probably wouldn't have done it.
No, I'm under the thought that if, you're receiving emails like this or you're getting swatted, or welfare calls,
That's
That's
right.
exactly what the person that's doing the SWAT calls or the welfare calls is waiting for, is to see your response. That's what they're wanting, is to see your reaction.
Right. Exactly.
And
And
if,
why let that chain get yanked?
right, and if they're not getting that reaction, if there's not, a reaction online and they're not getting that, then, what's the point in them doing it?
Right.
So eventually, my hope is that it would stop, because what's the point if you're not going to get to see it? You're not going to get to see your handiwork. So why do it?
Right.
Morbid. Jesus. So yeah, I don't think you should come out with any of that stuff as public, because that's why they that's why they do it, is to get a response.
I like what Prison Mike said here. Is this about JJJ versus Bum? And he's saying my issues with Bum are mine. I have no issues. I no leader in my own. I have no leader in my own leader. I'm my own leader. Yeah. I wish everyone thought that way, Mike. I think that would be far healthier. A lot of people, we have a lot less friendships than we think we have. We have a lot of loyalty, but it's loyalty really to, basically a side. I don't know what would be another term for that, wherever you're associated with. And people jump sides all the time. There are people over in the other part of the trauma community that have split up that I never dreamed in this lifetime would ever. I won't mention names, but you probably know what I'm talking about. I thought those relationships were forever. And then it's like, well, if those people can break up, then I guess anything is possible. But integrity, and Mike, I think that's what you're trying to say. You're looking at things not from your leader telling you what to think, but you're thinking for yourself. And that is what we need to do.
Mystical says, as a mod for Jenny, she absolutely does not lie. If she misspoke on something, she will come forth and make it right. Well, Mystical, I know from personal experience the last few weeks that she absolutely does lie, because she's lied about me. But she's not deserving of a response from me. I have to value someone's opinion before it matters. I have to respect someone, and she's one I don't respect. So my friends,
I don't want to beat up on any. I don't want to go after other people that aren't really. I mean, I'm not sure that there's any purpose served in doing that.
no, I'm just saying, I'm not gonna respond to that. My friends know who I am, and those
right.
are the opinions that matter.
Yeah, right. No, I'm kind of actually referring to Mystical Magnolia. Pointing out that, the person that you're a mod for is innocent. There's no human being on the face of the earth, especially me, especially Stellar, who is innocent. We're all human. We've all made mistakes. Last time I checked, Jenny is human. I think she would say she has made her share of mistakes. We all have. There's no canonized saints on here. That's for sure. I could refer you to videos I've made that you may or may not want to look at. And it gives a different light on all of us. We're not going to escape this by saying that we're the only person that hasn't done anything wrong. We're human. But I appreciate the loyalty, but the loyalty that I highly recommend it, I really do, is loyalty to the truth as best you can find it. But that would take a real postgraduate sort of view of life, and realizing that sometimes your very best friends can let you down. I've had friends like that, and I think, they couldn't have said this or said that. And I find out that they did, or perhaps they find out I have done that. But I think that we need to keep our hearts and minds open to reality, that all of us here are there's no perfect people here. If we only hung around people who are perfect, we would be all by ourselves. And that's a good starting point, because it requires humility, there's no perfect people on here. I would think we could at least agree to that, and realize that the thing that I'm more concerned about is, are we open to conflict resolution? Are we open to trying to get along? Is that something that's important to you? I would think so, but I also am not naive. I think that there are people who don't want to do that. I remember having a conversation with someone. I won't mention their name because it would be indiscreet, but I said, look, I think that we can make this, we can work this out. The person didn't want to have a conversation about working anything out. And then of course, I wake up from my dream state of thinking that people all want to do that. They don't. Not everyone wants to get along. Sometimes we finally reach the point where we realize that, you know what, getting along is not good for views. If we got along, it's not good for subs. It's not good for donations. It's not good for building our channel up. You know, when people have some action going on, I remember back when I first came 9.5 years ago in Boyd, they called it fodder. Hey, we need fodder. The numbers are dropping. Let's get so-and-so up here. We need a fight. We need fodder. So, you know, I don't know if everyone's legitimately, sincerely wanting to get along. I wish they were. I hate to see things get as nasty as they've gotten. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on so long, but I've always...
You're fine. No, I just look at it, you know, it's not everybody is here for, you know, the views and money. You know, those, I mean, you can tell by looking at channels.
True.
You know, you can tell by looking at channels and how often different people stream and stuff. And I haven't been live in a month. Since January, I think I've done 4 live streams, maybe.
Thanks for being here, Mystical Magnolia.
Have a good night, Mystical. You know, so, you know, when I hear somebody saying that I'm jealous of the views or whatever, if I wanted views, I would be streaming every night or at least 2 or 3 nights a week, not once a month. You know, it's just the BS like that I'm, you know, tired of being said.
Well, and there isn't a whole lot of money in this community anyway, you know, and the way the economy is, it's a reflection of us as well. Yeah, people are really struggling. I'm not so sure that you'd make a good living. I forget who said it a long time ago, you know, you can make more money picking up aluminum cans and, you know, getting than you would, you know, legitimately making money here.
Exactly. Angelo, I spend more money every month on my StreamYards, my Canva, my InShot, and my internet than I make on here.
You don't break even, do you?
Not even close.
Yeah. There are a few that do, though. There are a few that are banking. Most people, no.
No, I mean, not even close. I spend a lot more just on the software to, you know, to make my memorial videos than, you know, what I make on here. And that's okay, because, you know, I'm doing those memorials for me.
Right, right.
One other thing that I did want to address before we go, unless you want to talk about something else, Stellar.
Well, not really. I just, you know, think it's important for us to try to do better, you know.
Right. Angelo, I wish you would do more karaoke streams. I really wish you could, you know, without people targeting Andrew, because he is so sweet and he loves the karaoke so much.
Yeah, I mean, that's fun to listen to, even though I wouldn't be. Yeah,
I mean, I wish people would leave that alone.
Well, it's rare when we see, you know, it's homespun fun and it's healthy and it's wonderful. It's not, you know, what do they call that? The Voice and America's Got Talent. Look, it's just people having fun, and what's wrong with that? We need more of that.
Right.
I mean, I don't know if I'd want to hear Prison Mike's voice, but no, you might have a really good voice for all I know.
Right. And Angelo, you and me on certain topics, you know, can agree to disagree. You know, you can disagree with me on stuff and I can disagree with you. And that's just, you know, where you're at and where I'm at. It is what it is. And yes, Pug Love YouTube streets are ruthless and can be cruel.
That's for sure.
The other thing I was talking about addressing was Bombshell keeps wanting to bring up Midwestern Mary.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Well, we have an important anniversary coming up.
Yes, Friday will be the 2-year anniversary of Mary's passing. And I'm tired of different ones bringing up her as their YouTube fodder. You know, we've lost several people over the last few years, and we need to let those people rest in peace. Rather than trying to drag them back into the drama when they're not here to talk about it themselves. People are questioning friendships when those friendships have been proven by Mary's husband. He has come on panel a few times and busted out the lies that were being told. And I just think, you know, if you want to call yourself at any time a friend of hers, you need to let her rest in peace. Mary was my best friend. I spent time with her husband, and her daughter. You know, she's one of those rare people that you do meet from YouTube in person, and you just hit it off. And we did talk every day. We talked every night, you know, till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Not just YouTube stuff, just about everything. You know, we laughed. We talked about our kids, our animals, everything under the sun. And I still think about her every day, and I still miss those daily phone calls or nightly phone calls. And I'm sick and tired of people bringing her up and trying to use her as a weapon. And that's just
Mary was, she had a unique sense of humor, and like her or not, she was someone you didn't miss in the room. She was there front and center and made her voice known. And you know, we're quite a cast of characters on here. And in order for us to kind of just get along, I don't know. I think about, and I don't usually Bible punch, but I will say this. You know, Jesus condemned a couple classes of people. I don't think he'd say the groups that we're referring to or we've mentioned tonight, but he condemned the Pharisees and Sadducees, because what they did was they were always plotting evil against other people, and he called them hypocrites. And then he went on and said, I'm going to tell you this very solemnly. If you, as you're doing to the very least of these, my brothers and sisters, you're doing it to me. And man, is that a slam dunk wake up call, you know, because no matter who we don't like and who we go after is hard, and punch them again and punch them again. We're actually, according to what chapter 25 in Matthew says, we're doing it to him. And if you don't believe it, don't argue with me. I didn't say it. Take it up with, you know, the man from Galilee. But really, because we have the presence of what's sacred and holy within us. So I just think it's a good thing to keep in mind. I know when I get frustrated with certain people and I think, oh my God, I want to strangle them. I remember, you know what? They're children of God as well. I wanted to say that because I think that is about the only thing that sometimes redeems a conversation, is to realize that if you have a faith, and you don't have to, I'm not saying that, I'm not proselytizing, but I'm just saying, it can be a very good thing to have a kind of spiritual belief about you, because it helps get us through difficult times and difficult people as well. You can do better than that, Robert.
Jesus. Pug, Bomb said that JJJ and friends were responsible for her passing. So far from the truth. We don't know why exactly Mary passed. The morning that Matt notified me that she had passed, we talked just about all day that day on the phone while they were doing their investigation there and picking her up. And there was no autopsy. And as far as we know, the determination is natural causes. She did have family that had heart issues, and she was scheduled to go in and have some tests, but had not gone yet.
Right.
She had quit drinking 43 days before. But as far as, a particular group on here causing her death,
that hurts my heart to hear that.
We will never know what caused it. We all have a date in God's book when it's our time.
Yeah, Mary had a sister who had a heart issue. It was in her family and in her biology. And I can't believe statements like that are being made. That's heartbreaking. It really is. I was accused, someone else accused me of that I had somehow been able to make Mary turn against a lot of other women in this community. And I laughed. I thought, first of all, Mary and I were kind of new friends. I didn't know her as well as Susan did. And I liked her sense of humor. I liked the fact that she liked the Packers. I liked the Seahawks. And we would kid back and forth. And that was as far as, and the other thing is, women are not weak. Women aren't, going to cave into some guy trying to, hey, you ought to do this, you ought to do that. Oh, okay. That really is a put down of women. There's a lot of men that might be that weak, but there's a whole lot of women that aren't. And Mary was definitely one of those stronger women.
Oh, Mary could rip you to shreds in a heartbeat.
Right.
She's one of the funniest people I knew, but she would rip you to shreds in a heartbeat too if you were on the opposite side of her. She could be your best friend or your worst enemy.
Well, Pug's Love, that's like saying Angelo's responsible for the porn accusations, and I think we put that to rest. And that accusation that the people over there on Jenny's side are responsible for Mary's passing is complete fiction. Didn't happen.
Yes, Pug Love. Mary stood up for herself and had a good time doing it. She did. She would call me at night after she'd made a video, and she'd say, "You're going to be mad at me. You're not going to be happy with me." And I'd say, "What are you doing?" And she'd say, "Just go look at my channel." And I'd be like, "Oh no, what is it now?" But she always knew, "You're not going to be happy with me." I just always had to laugh, because I just never knew what she was going to be doing next. So I wish people would quit using her as a weapon. She's not here to fight those battles anymore. She's not here to defend herself anymore. She does have family that looks on YouTube from time to time to remember her. And when they search her name, I don't want them seeing all this ugly fodder that's being still used, for fighting battles. She now has a 7-year-old daughter. She was 5 when Mary passed, but she's 7 now. And, Nellie's a smart little girl, and one of these days she's going to be on here looking for her mom. She's doing wonderful now. She looks more and more like Mary every day. But I don't want her to come on here and see how her mother is being weaponized now. So that's just my thoughts. Mike, you would have gotten tickled with Mary. She was a hoot. But if we don't have anything else, I have a video that I'm going to close us out with. Stellar, do you have anything else?
No, I think you put it beautifully. Thank you, Susan.
Okay. I'm going to close us out. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. I missed y'all, and I was glad to see y'all, and I will be back soon. But in the meantime, y'all, show some respect for Mary. She was my best friend, and this week will be the 2-year anniversary of her passing.
Thanks for being here, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.